Hello, my friends. I have a story for you today. It's the story of King Menes, the man considered the first king of Egypt, who more than 5,000 years ago unified his people and laid the foundations for one of the world's greatest civilizations. So let's begin at the beginning. More than 5,000 years ago, the land of Egypt wasn't one country but two. The southern part was called Upper Egypt, and its capital was the city of Nicaea. And in the north, there was Lower Egypt with its capital at Budo. Each kingdom had its own ruler, its own army, and its own traditions. The Egyptians in the south were darker skinned and spoke a different language than those in the north. And for centuries, they lived separately, not knowing each other well. But in Upper Egypt, there was a young prince who dreamed of a different reality. His name was Menes, and when he grew up, he would become the king of Upper Egypt. But even as a child, he knew that he was destined to do something great. He didn't want to rule just over the southern part of Egypt. He wanted to unite his people under one flag. As a boy, he would often visit the soldiers while they trained, learning how to fight and defend their homeland. They told him exciting stories about faraway lands and daring adventures. And he listened to every word, dreaming of the day when he would lead his own army. When he became king, he noticed that the rulers of Lower Egypt were weak. They spent their time arguing with each other instead of protecting their people. And Menes thought it was time to end this and bring Egypt together, so he prepared for war. He told his advisors, "We must strike now before the northern rulers unite and become stronger than us. If we wait too long, our chance will be lost." His advisors knew that he was right, so they agreed. Menes gathered his army and marched toward the north. His soldiers were fierce and brave, and soon they began to win many victories. Finally, it was time for the last battle. Menes and his army faced the ruler of the north and his soldiers in a full-scale war. It was a hot summer day when the armies met near the river. The fighting lasted many hours. Menes and his soldiers fought bravely, and the king showed extraordinary courage. He inspired his men to do their best and never give up. The legend says that during the battle, Menes picked up his opponent's spear after knocking it out of his hand and used it against him. This showed his skill and strength, and in the end, his side won the battle. Menes took the northern ruler to the banks of the Nile and said, "Why do you fight against your own people? Why don't you join me and become my friend?" The defeated ruler understood that Menes was right, so he surrendered and gave up his weapons. After this, Menes continued his journey to the north until he reached the capital of Lower Egypt. There he was welcomed as a hero. The people were happy to be united under one king. Then Menes did something very important. He traveled all around his kingdom, visiting the cities and talking to the people. He made sure that everyone understood that from that day on, Egypt was no longer divided into Upper and Lower Egypt. It was one strong nation. To symbolize this, he created a new capital near the place where the Nile Delta begins. He named it Memphis, and it became the center of his kingdom. There, he established fair laws, encouraged farming and trade, and made sure that everyone paid their taxes. He also made many public works projects, including building temples and monuments. One of his most famous achievements was founding the First Dynasty. This dynasty would last for over 300 years, and it marked the start of ancient Egypt's Old Kingdom. During this time, Egypt became a powerful and wealthy kingdom. Its borders reached from the Middle East to the Mediterranean Sea, and Memphis was a bustling city full of activity. We can see him depicted on ancient artifacts like the Narmer palette. And we remember him as the king who made ancient Egypt what it became. So, my friends, this is the story of King Menes, the unifier of the two lands. He dreamed of a united Egypt, and his courage and determination helped him make that dream a reality. Thank you for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed the story of King Menes. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an adventure. Until next time, my friends, stay curious and keep dreaming big.